Karen Nakawala is 'n Zambiese radiopersoonlikheid en sy verduidelik toe sy gediagnoseer is met servikale kanker, was daar verskriklike stigma en sy het haarself stigmatiseer. Maar juist daaruit het sy die Teal Sisters gestig om bewusmaking te doen vir servikale kanker. Hallo en welkom by vandag se episode van Kletskompas. Ek is Irene Marie van der Walt en vandag bring ons vir jou onderhoud wat Patricia gedoen het met die einste Karen Nakawala oor haar diagnose as ook die werk met Teal Sisters. Maar vereers gesels ek en Augustus oor die nuutste nuus in Morris Republikein. Bly ingeskakel, ons is nou weer terug.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
Augustus saam met my in die Kletskompas ateljee. Hoe gaan dit?
Dit gaan goed, dankie Irene. Dit gaan goed, die naweek kom nader.
Die naweek kom nader en Karen Nakawala se pragtige glimlag wag nog vir ons. Maar Augustus, in Morris Republikein, voor ons nou by die pragtige glimlag kom, daar is 'n bietjie van 'n frons. Wanneer dit kom by die regering se gesamentlike verklaring met Duitsland se regering oor die volksmoord.
Dis korrek, dis 'n hofsaak wat gebring is deur Bernardo Swartboy en van die Oshirero tradisionele owerhede, ook Nama tradisionele owerhede. En hulle het nou onlangs gevra, die hof gevra, dat Amnesty International ook moet die saak aansluit by die saak. Alhoewel nie as 'n eiser nie, maar as iemand wat as vriend van die hof kan optree om toepaslike hulpbronne te kan deel in terme van wetlike hulpbronne, ander tipe is basies hulpbronne wat die hof miskien kan gebruik om 'n beter beslissing te kan kry aan die einde van die dag. So dis interessant, nog ontwikkeling in hierdie langdurige stryd vir regverdigheid.
Ja.
Ek dink dit is belangrik dat die proses heeltemal en volkomig behartig word.
Ja.
Ek dink daar is 'n groot gevaar vir ons samelewing in Namibia as dit nie aan die einde van die dag deur almal aanvaarbaar is nie. Ek dink dit moet ons vermy ten alle koste.
Ja.
Daai geld as dit kom en dit verdeel ons mense meer, sal dit nie vir Namibia enige iets baat nie.
Ja.
So ek voel persoonlik totdat ons 'n oplossing het waaroor almal betrokke en die land as geheel gelukkig oor voel, dan moet ons net los.
Ja, maar dit is vir my een ding wat baie mense sal nou sê, en ek dink dit is belangrik om te sê vir my as 'n wit mens, jy weet. Baie mense sal, en veral wit mense, sê maklik, nee maar beweeg nou aan. Dit was 100 jaar gelede, beweeg nou aan, jy weet. Maar dan kyk jy byvoorbeeld, as ek kyk na apartheid, dit is vir my baie duidelik dat mense wat soos ek lyk voordeel gevind het en gekry het uit 'n apartheidstelsel wat ons bevoordeel het. Ek meen, jy kan sê jy het hard gewerk, dis goed en wel, maar om die geleentheid te hê om hard te werk en om soveel uit te kry uit jou harde werk soos wat jy insit, dit is op sigself 'n voorreg, jy weet. Ek vat byvoorbeeld, ek is tans deeltydse student, jy weet. Ja, universiteite is gratis of NSFAF befonds dit of die regering befonds dit of wat ook al die saak mag wees, maar byvoorbeeld ons het voorheen gepraat oor kinders wat in afgeleë gebiede woon, jy weet, en hoe hulle moet universiteit toe kom en dan moet betaal vir verblyf, betaal vir hulle eie kos en so aan en so voort, en betaal om hulle self te onderhou.
Ja.
En om dit te kan doen is op sigself 'n voorreg. So om die geleentheid te hê om te kan byvoorbeeld universiteit toe gaan, is 'n voorreg en dis vir my dieselfde wanneer dit kom by iets soos 'n volksmoord, daar om die geleentheid te hê om te kon hard werk gedurende apartheid en dan wealth is generational, jy weet, dit word aangegee en aangegee en aangegee en in dieselfde manier word hierdie emosionele skade, dit word nie in presies dieselfde manier aangegee vir elke generasie nie, maar as jou pa gesien het hoe sy pa doodgemaak is deur 'n Duitse soldaat voor sy oë, hy het emosionele skade en hy dra dit in sy eie manier aan. Hurt people, jy weet.
Ek dink Irene, daar sit jy nou jou vinger op die kernpunt. Die skade, die skade van generasie tot generasie word oorgedra en dit is 'n diep wond. Dit is nie die enigste diep wond nie, maar dit is een van die seldsame wonde waarvan die hele wêreld weet en veral amper elke Namibier weet daarvan. En ons almal as Namibiërs, ons dra ons eie diep wonde van die verlede af. As hierdie een nie reg behandel word nie en genees word nie, dan is daar geen hoop vir al die ander. Daar is so baie wonde wat ons geestes bestaan as Namibiërs tas. Dag in en dag uit, ons dra daai swaar in ons harte en in ons lewens en dit kom uit, jy weet, in die geweld, dit kom uit in die onreg, dit kom uit in ons samelewing, ons sien dit, ons voel dit, ons leef daarmee saam. Nou, in ag van die volksmoord, ons het 'n verantwoordelikheid teenoor onsself, teenoor ons medemens en veral teenoor die generasies wat kom, dat ons dit baie versigtig moet behandel en ons moet aan die einde van die dag kom tot, wat is nou die Afrikaanse term, in Engels praat hulle van closure.
Afsluiting.
Ons moet kom tot afsluiting. Maar net om te sê, nee, julle het nou genoeg, is nou tyd om verby te gaan. Dit help niemand nie, want die spooke en die
wonde, die seer, dit word aangegee,
en
generasie vir
dit is by ons, dit is met ons. Ons sien dit in hoe ons lewens lei en hoe ons samelewing opstel. So ons moet kom tot die punt.
Ja, ons moet afsluiting kry en ek dink, jy weet, die volksmoord het my in baie maniere geraak, voel ek, maar tog gun jy dit vir jou mede-Namibiër.
Ek dink jy besef nie al die maniere waarop dit jou raak nie. Ek dink ons sien nie altyd hoe is alles gekoppel aan al die ander goed en die kettings wat aan die einde van die dag vir jou ook aanraak. Miskien is dit goed so, want ek dink dit is 'n baie swaar werklikheid om te moet dra, dag in en dag uit. En dies wat dit elke dag in die gesig staar, moet beslis swaarder dra. Maar dit tas ons almal aan.
Ja, natuurlijk. Ongelukkig is dit al die tyd wat ons het vir ons nuus. Gun dit vir jou mede-Namibiër en gaan saam met ons weer kantoor toe. Ons gaan kyk nou hoe maak die weer met jou Vrydag. 'n Sonnige dag môre in die hoofstad met 'n minimum van 2 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 19 grade Celsius. Selfde toestande verwag in die ooste op Gobabis. 'n Minimum van 7 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 25 verwag vir Rundu met 'n sonnige dag ook daar. Ook steeds sonnig op swak op mond met 'n minimum van 11 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 23 grade Celsius. Winderig op Oranjemund met 'n minimum van 11 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 26 en weer eens vriespunt vir Reebot met 'n maksimum van 19 grade Celsius. Nou tyd vir 'n geselsie met Karen Nakawala oor die Teal Sisters.
Welkom kykers by nog 'n onderhoud saam met iemand wat ek dink het die mees aansteeklikste glimlag wat ek al ooit gesien het. Welcome Karen, welcome to Kletskompas.
Thank you.
You look really beautiful today. You look radiant, if
Oh,
I
really?
can say so.
Well, thank you so much.
Like I told our viewers, I think you have one of the most infectious smiles that I have ever seen.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure most of our viewers have seen your face, especially when it comes to our Cancer Association. You are not a stranger, but for our viewers who may have not seen you, would you give us just a small, brief introduction of who you are?
Well, thank you so much for having me. It really is an honor to be here today. So my name is Karen Nakawala, and first and foremost, I'm a cervical cancer survivor. I think I always like to make sure that people know, the genesis or the backstory to the story. So I'm a cervical cancer survivor, and after I survived my journey, I decided to start advocacy. So I started a foundation called Teal Sisters Foundation, which initially started as a Facebook initiative, but it grew so large in the region that we decided, you know what, I think the most need is people that can't afford to be on the internet. And so then we decided to register formally with the Ministry of Community Development back home in Zambia. And then now we're able to take the message out across. So I'm an advocate. I'm no longer a national advocate. I think I'm a global advocate for cervical cancer. And that's what brings me to Namibia.
Okay, so you're here to motivate, educate, and just inspire Namibians on the topic of cervical cancer. Now, we do know that cancer in general, it's a scary thing to face. It's a scary thing to tackle, whether it's for yourself or someone you know. But attached to that is also, stereotypes, myths about cancer, cervical cancer as well. What are some of the myths or stereotypes that you have tackled or seen throughout your journey with cervical cancer?
Well, those are plenty, and they're the most common, I think. I remember when I first got the news that I had cervical cancer, it took me a very long time to actually come out publicly to say I have this disease. Initially, I self-stigmatized myself. Before I let anyone do that to me, I did it on my own, very successfully too. But as I went along, at the time, I had no idea. I think for me it was just uncomfortable that people should think that I have cancer, and let alone cervical cancer. And I think it was through the journey that I actually started learning about what cervical cancer is. And also through my journey, I started meeting with ladies. So you see, with cervical cancer is you start your radiation treatment and you get that every single day. So you start meeting people and you form a sisterhood because you see each other every single day. And it was from talking to these women, most of them who were coming from rural parts of the country, that is where I saw the face of stigma. Not to me directly, but through people that I walked the journey with. I remember this other old lady, not very old. She says she came from some far off place. She was staying with her child, her daughter, who was married, whilst she was going through treatment. And they took her to the back room. So before that, when she came to visit, she was grandma and the kids were all over her. And then suddenly she was taken to the back room. Nobody was allowed to go into that room. The helper would take food to her, make sure she's taken a bath, she's taken her meds. In the morning, they'll put her on a taxi to come and receive treatment. So that is family showing stigma firsthand.
Yeah.
And that is how it starts. So if the people in your own home are treating you like that, it trickles down to everybody else, the community. So imagine what the community would do or were doing to this woman because of what the family were doing to her, you know. So it's such kind. And then I saw another one whose husband said he kept her because he was obligated to do it because that was the wife. Otherwise, she had brought shame into the family. She brought illness into the family. She brought disease. She was promiscuous. And this woman had another woman brought into her space as she was receiving treatment. So it was through people that I actually came to encounter most of the stereotyping, most of the myths and misconception. People think only HIV positive women will get cervical cancer. So it was all of those things. But as you go along, and I think that is what prompted me to do what I do today, I realized it wasn't their fault. They don't know any better, you know. I think we know what we want to believe,
Yeah.
and what we perceive. And sometimes we don't even want to correct the narrative, even when we can, you know. So I have encountered a lot, but we're trying to change that.
Yes, that is the whole point of what you are doing with the Cancer Association. Excuse me. So, as I said earlier, it is a scary thing to do, and everyone needs support. The day you found out that you were diagnosed with cervical cancer, like you said, you immediately drew back.
I died.
Can you tell us about what the support system was for you that helped you come to the point where today you can sit here and smile and say, I'm a survivor, and I want to put the smile on other survivors. I want them to smile as brightly as I do.
So, like I said, I stigmatized myself in the beginning. So only a handful of people, my two sisters, because they were staying with me and they had to look after me. So eventually they would know that, you know, there's something wrong with her. But at the back of my mind, I was like, should I tell them? I think I can go through this thing, you know. But I told them, my partner at the time, my oldest daughter, I have two daughters. So the older one, and maybe one or two friends actually. They're the only people that knew. And these people were sworn to secrecy. Like, this is a state secret. You don't tell nobody what you see in this
Between
house.
me and you, no one else.
So, but the support I received from them, though the circle was small, was amazing. And I think that kept me going every single day. Because what happens is when you go through something traumatic such as this, it becomes, automatically you become isolated. Not physically, yes, but mentally you start to isolate yourself because you start to think, oh, this is what they're thinking about me. Or so they see me, they now, even when someone is genuinely concerned about something, you start to think, is it because I'm sick?
Yeah.
So people have to start walking on eggshells when they're around you. But what I did deliberately was I made them carry on life as normal. And I told them that is the best support you can give me. If you want, come into my house, open a bottle of wine, make as much noise as you can. If and when I feel uncomfortable, tired, I will leave you and go to my room and sleep. But I didn't want to disrupt our everyday normal as we knew it. Whether it's for my children, my sisters, or my friends, everything carried on as per normal. And I'll tell you a very funny story. In my second week of treatment, I had just come back from both chemotherapy and radiation. And I was super tired. And it was my birthday that day. So that was before my daughter knew. So because my sisters hadn't told her, the poor child came and gathered all my friends and organized a surprise birthday dinner for me. And I had to go because I didn't want them to know.
Yeah.
So can you imagine? I'm so tired. And I get there and everybody's like, why do you look tired? It's not like you. I mean, I'm the soul and life of the party.
Oh, I can tell.
And I'm like, no, I've just got the flu. And so I told myself, if I tell them, and if I had told them, the mood was just going to change.
Immediately.
Because, you know, everybody thinks when you get a cancer diagnosis, you're going to die. I told you I died the day they told me I had cancer. I literally killed myself. So I didn't want that, and I wanted them to carry on. And later on, when they heard, they were like, so you mean that they were having a surprise dinner party, you were actually sick? I said, I had just come back from radiation and chemotherapy. And so I think I protected them, because sometimes you don't know how somebody is going to react.
Yeah.
And the thing with cancer is you want to avoid any negativity. You just want to have this positive aura, you know. And I tried that by all means. And so I disclosed to different people at different stages when I knew they could handle it. And because when they handled it well, it meant that they gave me the support that I required and needed from them. So the support that I received helped tremendously, I think, in my healing journey. And it still does, because I still get the support from them and from the larger community as well.
It is clear that having the correct support system is one of the biggest things any cancer survivor needs during, after their journey. Can you roughly give us a few bullet points for those people listening who might have a friend, a family member going through this? Just if you could give them 3 or 4 points, how to be the best supportive friend, daughter, sister that you can be.
Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is this person's life literally came to a standstill, and they had to learn to live again. Because that's what I did. I literally stopped living, and then I had to start learning how to live again. So you need to be very patient with them. Sometimes because of the treatment, it's not being difficult, but you become sort of picky. I can't eat this because I feel a certain way. I'm nauseous all the time. And you know, it's like a child who come and say, Mommy, I want to have pasta. Okay, you bring pasta and they just nibble. Okay, I want to have mac and cheese. So you become like that. It's not because you want to, but the treatment does that to you. So again, patience, okay? And then also, like I said, don't treat them like an egg. Carry on as per normal. But of course, with bearing in mind that we shouldn't expose this person too much. Because when you start treatment, they'll tell you, avoid crowds. Avoid just going out. And then you say that to a person like me, who lives for the people.
Yeah.
Who lives for the party. So already that starts to work on my mental state.
Yes.
So I need people that are going to understand what I'm going through at that particular moment and be able to handle it. I can't handle it on my own, but you handle it for me. And through you, I start to handle it as well. Make sure they've eaten. Like I said, we can be difficult.
But you have to eat.
Have a bit of this and that, you know. Just make sure they're comfortable and make sure that they take their meds. You take them to the hospital. Just do what you can. Be the friend that you need when your time comes. I got into advocacy because I couldn't find a me. So I decided to become that person that I needed at that time for somebody else. And that is the support that people need. So, but I think what is most important is just be patient with them. A lot is going to change. A lot is going to be different. Even now, I'm not the same person that I was. And the people that walk the journey with me, because they're with me at each and every step of the way, they know how to manage me. They know how to manage. They know how to be patient with me when I just need. Sometimes I just want attention.
I think all of us sometimes just
absolutely.
Need a little
So
bit of attention.
they would need that, and you
Yeah.
will think they're being needy, but it's actually more than your attention that they want. It's actually more of themselves that they lost in the journey that they are looking for. And so if you treat them as such, then you just make it worse for them. So just be patient and carry on as normal as you can.
I think that is the best advice you could have given. So before we say goodbye, do you have any words of encouragement to someone who might be going through the same journey with cervical cancer or any form of cancer, anything to just give them that bit of motivation to say this does not have to be the end?
You said it. We're talking about life happening a little earlier. Life happens in so many different ways. Life happens because you get a cancer diagnosis. Life happens because you get divorced. Life happens because you lose somebody. Life happens all the time. But how do you move on? How do you pick yourself up? Don't let a cancer diagnosis define who you are or redefine who you are or change the narrative of your beliefs. I always say, this cancer picked on the wrong person. I didn't come for you, you came for me, so you have to exist. We're not coexisting, you exist in my space. So if you're going through that, let it exist in your space, not you existing in its space. It's going to overwhelm you, and you're going to lose yourself in the process, and you do not want to do that.
That was beautifully said.
It's very hard. I'll be very honest. It's very hard to get to that point of like, you know what, Karen, the cancer is here, so fine, let's move on with it. It takes a lot. And it will take a lot out of you. I wanted to believe I was the strongest, among the strongest people. Like nothing shakes me. The world can be falling around me and I've got this huge smile on my face and life goes on. And I dance my problems away. I love to dance. But it broke me. That brought me down to my knees. But unfortunately, I couldn't go further than the ground. So the ground gave me a platform to get back up again.
True.
So whatever it is you're going through, like you can only get to the ground and bounce right back. It's not the end of the world. It's not a death sentence. Trust the process. Get the treatment. Go through with the treatment. And live every day as it comes.
Exactly. We at Kletskompas are so honored to have had you on the show, sharing your beautiful journey with our viewers and just motivating family members out there who might be going through the same thing today.
Absolutely.
And good luck with everything that you are doing.
Thank you.
Kletskompas family wishes you all the best, especially when you have to travel again. Wel kykers, dit was nou 'n wonderlike tydjie, maar ons moet nou eers by sê ons kan nie heeldag lank praat nie. Maar volgende keer sien ons julle weer.